wear the chunks around the neck. Not Rick Ross and not Run DMC and all that. They get it from them. That's why they keep that chunk around their neck or that gold chain. They like to be decked out. And the Church of God in Christ used to have that too. They have that form of godliness like the Roman Catholic Church is. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
This is Mystery Babylon that's written upon her head, which is 666. I forgot the vicarious Philadelphia and all that. I forgot how all that goes, but this is his name that written upon his head. This is his mother church, and he have a lot of daughters. If you go to church on the Sunday, that's your mama. This whore that sits on the many water. If your church is eating swine, that's your mama. People don't want to hear this because their loved one is trapped in the churches, in these people, in these churches. And by we sugarcoating it like we normally do, we ain't doing them no favor. Tell them straight up, your mama's a hoe. That church she running in, I ain't talking about your physical mama. You know what I'm saying? But you are following this whore, this mother church, who dressed up in scarlet and purple. This is the Roman Catholic Church. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Drunken with the blood of the saints?
And
me tell me this woman killed some of the saints? Yeah. Rome had killed a lot of our prophets. Who you think killed John the Baptist? Who you think killed all Stephen? Who you think killed all those people? Rome. Paul was running with him before he was converted. He used to come in and kill everybody in the church if you ain't doing it right. Rob them too. Go ahead. Read on, start on verse 6.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus.
You know what a martyr is? Somebody who died for Jesus. Go ahead.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
And these people are wondering who can defeat her. Go ahead.
And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Like I said, these 7 heads is the Gentile dynasty, and the 10 horns that Daniel talked about in his dream, which is the European nation, the United Kingdom. He run all of that. And Rome is going to be heading up that European economic community that's going to run it in the last days. All those other 7 nations, they are gone now. From Nebuchadnezzar, Darius, Alexander the Great, we down to this last one of Alexander the Great general, which is, forgot his name, but this is the Roman Catholic Church. We down to the end of it. End of prophecy. And the 10 toes is the European Union. Go look it up. They're going to have 10, and they're going to have great power. America is going to have to come over there with them. America ain't got no power. No power like that. Folks are not even watching the real people who they need to watch. You need to watch the European Union. You need to watch Russia. They strong. That's a 200 million man army that God talks about in Revelation chapter 16, where he dried up the Euphrates River and let them came through. That's China, Russia, Japan, Korea, all of them going to combine up, and they're going to have a world war, which is called an Armageddon. We know what we're talking about. But if you don't escape and flee Babylon, you're going to be a part of that. The only place that we're going to be protected at this time, where we at now, is in the wilderness. Then after that, after they had this great war, Jesus finna step on the scene. When he steps on the scene, he wants some bloodshed too. We finished with that?
One verse.
Verse 8, go ahead.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not.
He talking about Rome. We had the last one, Rome. The beast that thou saw that was, and now is, meaning that head is almost healed now. Go ahead.
And shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go go into perdition.
Yes, sir.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is.
Every time Rome roam around, every time the Pope take his little rounds around the world, they wondering, they trying to touch it. He bigger than any star you ever would meet. He get respect in all countries. They kiss the ring. They wondering. He said the ones that wonder, they are not written in the Lamb's book of life. If you think this man is holy, you have no clue. You need to fire your pastor. Period. We finished with that?
Yes, sir.
This is what he's telling you right here. Don't wonder after this beast. Don't wonder after the system that he set up in Babylon. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. Now we're going to get to the time when they're physically fleeing. This is when Jesus is going to step on the scene before he come here. You got to flee from Babylon before he invades the earth. Now that 3.5 year tribulation period is going to bring some pain, but not like Christ. And we worry about how to pay our rent. Worry about keeping up with the Joneses. Some of us got too much stuff now. We need to downsize and get on this book. Let it go. I got away from that, boy. Trying to have a house big as everybody's house. Struggling to pay for it. I'm over that. I'm trying to get in this kingdom. But let me show you this mother of all harlots when he gonna step on the scene. Matthew chapter 24 verse 15. Go ahead.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
People that have not been taught by Israel, they don't understand what that means. They don't. He said, when he stepped it, whoso readeth, let him understand. When he come into the land, what do he want us to do when he comes, this abomination when he comes? Go ahead.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
He said, the ones that be in Judea, flee into the mountains. That's the same thing, fleeing out. It's the physical fleeing right here. Get out, because he done stepped on the scene. When they built that third temple in Jerusalem, believe me, it's about to go down in a little bit. We've been keeping up with it. All they waiting for is the okay. If more folks' mind is so set up on this world, they not even paying attention to it. Oh, I got another year or two before I pay off my house. I got 5 years to pay off my truck. I got 10 years to pay off my bill. That stuff don't mean that. You better get on this. Listen, let me show you how important he say this is. You worry about paying a bill. You worry about a house. You worry about some cars, some clothes, some money, all that. Look what he said when this man stepped on the scene. Go ahead.
17. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
He said, man, when you see this man step on the scene, I don't care if you got money now, you take off and start fleeing to the east, to the wilderness. You go immediately because your time is running down when they closing everything up before Satan send his minions after us. He said, you better be moving. I started, I'm gonna get me a backpack ready so I can just grab that sucker and leave. For real. I thought about doing a little class on there, backpack ready. Make sure we understand, get everything in it that we need. Just have it ready. So everybody got their own little personal backpack. Grab it, get in the car and leave. Go get to the airport. Or drive far east. I'm serious now. Go ahead.
18. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
He said, don't even, if you're in the field working, don't even go back and get your clothes. Go ahead.
Woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Because the mothers and fathers who got children, it's going to be hard.
Yes.
It's going to be hard. That they trying to feed the kid, keep them, calm and all this stuff. It's going to be very hard. It will be hard for us. Go ahead.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
Because the winter is hard traveling in the winter. Might have to get out and walk part of the way. You know what I'm saying? Might not have the proper dress we need to be, you know what I'm saying, comfortable. Go ahead.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
That's why God wants us to flee Babylon physically at this time. He said, you ain't never seen nothing like this before. The movies ain't showed this slavery, what our people went through, cannot compare to this. At all. He said, you ain't seen this since the beginning of the world. Go ahead.
And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
God said, if I don't shorten these days, the elect probably not won't make it. The ones that know this stuff, know about the abomination of desolation, know that this is about to happen. God is going to place so hard on your mind that you're going to be like, so many people so conditioned to this world, they got to serve God in comfort. You better take yourself through a little pain now. Every day. Something dealing with it. So you can kind of adapt. We're jumping down to verse 29. Here come the Lord now. He want to part once you flee out of Babylon. Go ahead.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened.
That's a clue now. I always remember that. That's after the seventh trump. The sun gonna be darkened. Go ahead.
And the moon shall not give her light.
Mm-hmm.
And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
That means that what we see up in the sky right now, it's going to be open. It's going to be open. Oh, that went on live. Sorry. We'll go ahead and read that over.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
What we see in heaven now is not going to be like that. Pay close attention. Anybody say that Jesus is coming back before the rapture, you take them to this verse right here. Because immediately after the tribulation, that's when Jesus is coming. Go ahead.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
I thought they said Jesus is going to rapture us out of here. He said, when Jesus comes, we're going to rapture out of here, then the tribulation period going to start. But what did that just say? Immediately after the tribulation, after the 3.5 years, after the 42 months, this is when Jesus is going to come back. But he said something, he said, all the tribes mourning. Why they mourning? Why? Because they didn't think it was true. They really didn't think it was true. They thought this thing was a fairy tale. I hear people all the time tell me, oh man, what if that ain't true? I said, I ain't trying to find out what it is. I'm not. That's why I got faith in this. Understand that everything is not going to be clear. That's when faith takes over. You got to walk by faith with this. Because you can't see it, that don't mean it ain't going to happen.
Exactly.
Because you don't understand it, that don't mean it ain't going to happen.
Come on.
He said, immediately after the tribulation, the Son of Man shall appear in heaven, and all the tribes shall mourn. Go ahead.
All the tribes shall mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
He coming to do damage. That's why he wants us to be in that wilderness. Read Psalm 91. Psalm 91 is talking about the wilderness. He got his angels outside to protect you. Go ahead.
And he shall send his angel with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
This is where you want to be now. This is the first resurrection now. He said he's going to send his angel to gather his elect from the four winds of the earth, in one end of heaven to the other. We're talking about the earth. He's going to send, he's going to get the ones in the first resurrection to come and fight with him. Let me show you that. Let's go to Revelation chapter 19. If you don't want to fight with him, well, you sit your behind on the side now. I want to get some of this. That's why we gotta know. Y'all think God is just like, I ain't say y'all understand. But most people think that God is this soft guy. He came in the beginning harmless now. The first time, the first 33 years in the world, he was in. He gonna come as a mighty, mighty war machine. And I'm gonna show you. You better be fleeing in the wilderness to get there and make the first resurrection. Because anybody outside of there is going to get dealt with. Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. Go ahead.
And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he does judge and make war.
Wait a minute now. Jesus making war? He going to make war. It's the same thing we see in Matthew chapter 24. He said, I saw heaven open. Open up, he coming. He gonna bring all that. The skies ain't gonna be like that. Go ahead.
His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns.
Yes, sir.
And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God.
Why his clothes bloody? That's what I want to know. Why his clothes bloody? Because he's going to fight this world. Go ahead.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
So he got an army coming, clothed in linen, fine, clean. Go ahead.
And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword.
Yes, sir.
That with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treaded the winepress of fierceness and wrath of Almighty God.
Do this sound like the Jesus y'all do in the Sunday church? No. I ain't never, when I was Sunday, I ain't never heard them say anything bad about Jesus. I ain't never heard them say like, he will hurt you. He will destroy you. He will bring pain to you. But this guy right here, Jesus right here, he said he's going to smite the nation. He's going to rule them with a rod, an iron rod. It's going to be a dictatorship then. He's going to bring everything under the banner of the covenant. Everything.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
At this time, you're going to know who the king is. You're going to know who the Lord is. Because he's going to inflict pain. Well, you're going to know. And I'm going to know. Let me show you what we're talking about. Let's go to Habakkuk. Chapter 3. Flee Babylon. Be in that first resurrection. I worry about your worldly possessions.
That's right.
What you ain't got. Keeping up with the Joneses. I'm talking to myself. As well as y'all.
Amen.
Man, that junk ain't that. But we're going to read some stuff that's going to shake you to your bone. Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 2. He told Habakkuk about this. And Habakkuk was so fearful for this thing. He was like, man. That's why when I read this stuff, I see people, they like, they seem like chilling, like, yeah, okay. They'll be the first one to be here shaking like a salt shake. What's going on? We done read it before. You should know. Let's see what Habakkuk talking about. Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 2. Listen what he said. Go ahead.
O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid.
So he gave Habakkuk this before he gave John this about how he was coming. Go ahead.
O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known. In wrath remember mercy.
He telling your wrath, remember mercy. Mercy, I need it. But Habakkuk said, I was afraid because he had read all this stuff the Lord was going to do to this earth and the people. Go ahead.
God came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Salah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise.
It sound like God coming. It sounds like he coming in peace, but that ain't peace right there at all. He said, I come not to send peace. I come with a sword. Go ahead.
and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand,
He's talking about horns, he's talking about power coming out of his hands. Go ahead.
and there was the hiding of his power.
Yes, sir.
Before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet.
If you read the Revelation, you talk about when the seven trumpets are blown, when he blow all that, third of the men are going to die, a third of the water's going to be bitter because of wormwood, the meteor he's going to send down to the earth, a third of the trees going to be destroyed. This is what he's talking about. The pestilence went before him because he covered at the seventh trump. He got to clean, he going to destroy this thing. But when he come, he going to bring the pain. Go ahead.
He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations.
Yes, sir.
And the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways as everlasting.
Let me clear that up for you. Like you can see Mount Rushmore, he destroyed that when he came. When you see Mount Sinai, he destroyed that when he came. Because when he said, Zechariah chapter 14 said, when his feet hit the Mount of lava, he flattened. He gonna take all this thing out of course. This is what Jesus is gonna do when he get here. Then he's gonna fight. Jump down to verse 11. Go ahead.
The sun and moon stood still in their habitation. At the light of thine arrows they went, and at the shining of thy glittering spear.
See, the sun and the moon ain't gonna get that much light, but when you see his spear, his sword ain't gonna glitter. And you're gonna see him, he's gonna bring it. Go ahead.
Thou didst march through the land in indignation. Thou didst thrust the heathen in anger.
So he went through the whole land just killing. That's why his clothes was dipped in blood. The ones that went with him, he was slicing them up, one by one. Go ahead.
Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for salvation with thine anointed.
Yes, sir.
Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked, by discovering the foundation unto the neck.
It don't sound like the Jesus I learned in the Sunday church. He destroyed, man. He discovered the foundation to the neck. What the thing said? The blood shall come up to the horse's brow. So all this stuff is going to be painful to see. In Habakkuk seeing it, he said something like, man, hide me in the grave. I don't want to see this. Go ahead, he gonna tell you.
For 14.
Like when I'm in. Oh, this one kind of got a little better. I don't know what I did with my battery charges, but go ahead.
14.
It's on.
Thou didst strike through with his staves the head of his villages. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly. Understand,
he said he struck through the villages. The whirlwind scattered them. When you see whirlwinds, he's talking about the angels. Angels always kind of referred to as whirlwind. Because when they come in all different directions because they got 4 heads. They see everything. So they ain't got to sit up there and turn this and turn that. They go whatever. Go ahead.
Thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses through the heat of great waters.